In the last class, verse number 12, we were stuck. षट्चक्रम षोडशाधारम द्विलक्ष्यम व्योम पंचकम स्वदेहे ये न जानन्ति कथम सिद्ध्यन्ति योगिनः इति. So how can you call him? I am translating very carefully, differently. How can you call him or her as a yogi? He who does not know what is षट्चक्र in the body, what are they, their function, and of course ṣoḍaśa-ādhāram, 16 ādhāras, the lakshyas, 2 types of lakshyas, way of seeing, target, and 5 vyomas, 5 spaces. And while discussing this thing, I hope in the last class we spend little time to discuss especially all these 16 ādhāras, which started with padāṅguṣṭha, mūlādhāra, guhyādhāra, vajragarbhanādi, uddiyānabandhādhāra, nābhimandalādhāra, hrudayādhāra, kanthādhāra, kanthamūlādhāra, jihvamūlādhāra, jihva adhobhāgādhāra, urdhdantamūlādhāra, nasikāgrādhāra, nasikamūlādhāra, bhrumadhyādhāra, and netradhāra. I hope you had taken note and you could join, okay, with me. If not, don't worry. You can say, Swamiji, if we remember everything, then you will never take any class, okay? So please, we should forget and you should keep taking it. Doesn't matter. However, while discussing this point, that dvilaksham, that we have also very carefully mentioned, that there are 2 types of way of seeing. So what generally we say, external and internal, bahya, abhyantara. So bahya means not seeing external object, don't look at that way. Here is little different. So when we say seeing externally, means that external bahya drishti means that we have certain techniques like gazing at your tip of the nose. So, or focusing on their eyebrows, Ajna chakra, in between eyebrows. So this is called as bahya lakshya. And abhyantara, that internal way of seeing, is that while keeping your eyes closed, please understand, here what you need to see, like all these ṣoḍaśa-ādhāra or षट्-chakra, you focus on. So these are 2 types of lakshyam to be understood. Means in short, one is supposed to be aware of it. That's why we say very carefully that when your focus or lakshya, you can use the word here, better word, when your lakshya is in higher chakras or from padāṅguṣṭha, from the toes onwards, when you start working on it, you can see the stability in yourself. I don't know how many of you tried whatever we discussed yesterday. Any of you tried? At least few minutes? Please. Then what will happen is nothing will enter. It is just, academical study. And you'll be shocked to know, yesterday in the class I was so, merged, I cannot say merged, lost. I forgot that yesterday was a Bhandara. And all sadhus are waiting there. Plate is ready, everything is ready, okay? So I reached almost 10 minutes late. On the plate they were sitting, okay? Swamiji will come down. You know how I was yesterday completely lost. Because while talking to you people, I have worked with it. And not only I have worked, while talking also, I was working with me. That's why I didn't look at time, nothing. I was going on and on. So I expect also something from you. Hey, at least one or two tricks, at least, spending time to visualize on your toes. Okay, this is the basic thing. See, all of you have your turmoils. So when you have your own turmoils, please stabilize yourself. To stabilize, at least spend some time. Elevate. Bring up. No, we don't want to do anything, but we want to get everything. Is it possible? Then somebody said, no, Swamiji, you should pray for it. You should do something, okay? Give us some diksha in such a way that instantly it should work. Remember, it will work, but later on you will become Bhasmasura, okay? You become Bhasmasura, not problem for me. It becomes problem for you, okay? For the timing problem I will go through, but permanently you will have your own problem, okay? Continuing. So, here it says, Vyoma Panchakam. When we look at this Vyoma Panchakam, as I had already given a hint yesterday, even though there are 5 Vyoma Akasa, we say, and there we say very carefully, they are called, first one is called Shweta Varnaha. If you want to take a note, Shweta Varnaha means that which is in white in color. Second one would be called as Rakta Varnaha. So Rakta Varnaha means not red actually, it would be called as literally Aruna Sadrushaha. Aruna means the sun when rises, rising sun, that color. Okay? So that is called Rakta Varnaha. Then third is called Dhumra Varnaha. So Dhumra Varnaha means the general whatever sky you see with smoky. So that we call as Mahakasa, our Akasa is called Dhumra Varnaha. Then Neela Varnaha. So Neela Varnaha means bluish, blue. And the final one is called Vidyut Varnaha. So Vidyut Varnaha means lightning. Means that bright. So these are the 5 types of sky. See, when we look at this thing, especially this is being packed one inside another. So in 1, 2 is, inside 2, 3, inside 3, 4, inside 4, 5. And all these things happens also we need to look at very carefully. As I have already told, it is nothing but the combination of different elements. Because if we do not look at this aspect, then what will happen is, you will be sometime looking at how it can happen. That's why we say very carefully, just I would like to say very nicely, in Hinduism, both Rama and Sri Krishna, Sri Rama and Sri Krishna, their body color is blue. So why that body color is blue? We say in this Akasa Tattva, if Agni Tattva is more predominant, so automatically that will become blue. That's why if you observe that the blue color fire is more strong, that's why all these gas connections, all these things you see, all the flame blue in color. And that's why if you observe with Lord Rama and Sri Krishna, the Agni Tattva, the fire aspect, the energy aspect was so strong, that's why their body color was blue. This is yogic way of interpretation. So that's why many things have been discussed. That's why when any avatar we are being discussing, it is not imaginary avatar like any other religion where you are cut. Or a present day on avatar is popping up, okay? Like we say very nicely, somebody said, really I appreciated. When other countries are focusing on going to different interspace or creating robo and whatnot. We Indians are busy in creating avatars. So I'm sorry to say, every year social media makes one person famous in India. Whether it's a singer or is a chaiwala or a mala selling girl. But the social media, as it make them popular, again they vanish. So also Indians in every decade, almost in every decade, they make or they create one avatar. Whether this Baba, that Baba. This person, that person, don't forget. Every decade in history it is there. And how did they come? Where do they go? Don't ask. They create their own groups. And slowly they divide themselves that they are no more Hindus, they are independent. And when they collapse, again they come back Hindus. And if they survive, of course, they become different, pseudo-Hindus. And in fact, they are the dangerous for us, for not only Hinduism, for the teaching tradition too. Why I am bringing this point very carefully? That when we look at any avatar, from avatar I went away. So avatar means incarnation, okay? Please understand. So avatar means incarnation. Avatara Purusha has to be born not with the fancy of avatar, but with the samashti karma of with the samashti karma. Only samashti karma will make a avatar to come. If you observe any avatar to come down, whether we look at the 10 avatars or 64 avatars, we have different levels. Let us popularly, long before Rama could come down, Ravana was creating a mess. So people started praying, we want to be protected, please save us, save us. So the samashti karma of all the people made Rama to be born. Same thing, samashti karma of people to escape from Kamsa, Lord Krishna was born. So that's why the entire prayer of people makes one avatar to arrive. But nowadays we create avatar how? So we have our fancies. We make anybody and everybody as avatar. Finally what happens? That avatar destroys other people, directly or indirectly. Like some Swami, popularly I tell one Swami. So one Swami, his disciples started calling, he is a Rama avatar. And they made him to stand with a bow and arrow. Some photos I saw here, okay? What can you tell them? And they are disciples, they are sannyasi, okay? Their disciples consider him as Rama. I am not criticizing anybody. Serious affair, okay? So here, all this confusion happens because I am not aware of my body. I am not sure about these two lakshyas. Continuing. We were in verse number 16, correct, if I am right? Ādhāra prathamam chakram swadhisthānam ditiyakam yonisthanam dayor madhye kamarupam nigadyate. So Goraksha wanted to highlight, look, even though there are 6 chakras we have discussed already, but I would like to bring the devatas over there. Because when we bring devatas, then only it becomes different. So first he tries to bring in verse number 16 and 17 about Kamākhyā Devi, Kamākhyā Pīṭha. So here this Kamākhyā comes very nicely. How it becomes? Very nicely. What he says, look, that Prathamam Chakram Ādhāra iti. So the first chakra is called as Ādhāra chakra. Ādhāra means what? Mūladhāra. So the root cause of support, the first one. Then next one is called ṣoḍaśa-ādhāra. Later on also we'll say very nicely Swasabdena. Swasabda will be explained in some other place. Let us hold on. Okay. So Swadhisthana. So in this Swadhisthana chakra, now why he wants to bring this Swadhisthana? Because all of us will know the first chakra is called Ādhāra, Mūladhāra. Second one is called Swadhisthana. But he says, look, I am not interested to explain again about chakra, but the second line says, Yonisthanam dvayar madhye kamarupam nigadyate. So this between two, there is something called Yonisthanam. So there is a Yoni region, most important region. And there we called, that is called Kamarupa iti. And what is that Kamarupa, if you want to see? So there all the desire starts budding. So that is the storehouse. That is the womb of all desires, you can say. So because it is Kama Rupa, now he says, look, definitely to manage Kama Rupam, all desires, now we need deity. Because without bringing the deity, we cannot handle the desire. It's a very nice concept to understand. We are not against of desire. We are not, opposing desire. Especially you are in Yoga Shastra. That too here is Agama Shastra. Agama Shastra will never oppose, criticize desire. In fact, you have to go along with the desire, bringing deity, Ishvara in your life. And once Ishvara comes in, very nicely, I used to say long back, nowadays I have stopped. Somebody said, hey, look, youngster, I smoke. I said, nothing wrong in it. He said, first time I saw a Swami says nothing wrong in smoking. I said, yes, please smoke. Who says not to smoke? But I have request. Then the fellow understood, oh. So what is the request? The first request is, never compromise with the brand. Smoke the best brand. And that brand, once you decide, never ever go down. You may not smoke, but never go down that brand. Fellow said, Swamiji, then when money is not there, I said, this is my point. So every day if you are smoking 10, automatically you will come down to 5. You understand the concept? Second one, I would say, when you want to smoke, smoke with your family people. How is it possible? I said, this is my second. You cannot smoke with your friend circle. Because if you start smoking with a friend circle, then you will compromise with the brand. Then number will increase. I'll take care of your parents. I'll convey to them. So you can smoke with your parents or in front of your parents. I don't have any issue and I'll take care of that aspect. Then this person says, Swamiji, I think it is impossible. It is better not to discuss with you anymore. You understand the concept? I did not say him, hey, don't smoke. Because if I say don't smoke, unnecessarily I'll create a jerk in him, but the fellow is not going to listen to either. So go along with him, but put certain conditions. Same thing also the desire. So you cannot stop. Remember, who we are is not product of this life. Don't forget this aspect. We are the product of innumerable lives that we have lived so far. Sometimes we are animal, sometimes it is stone, sometimes this, that, you understand? And also that gets reflected in this life, okay? And when I am representing the karma that I did, or I am the representation of the entire karma phalas that I get, now how can I deny? So I go along with the karma phala. I accept. While accepting, I improve. Now he says, to improve, next line he says, look, ādhārakshe gudasthāne pañca-vyoma caturdalam tanmadhye pracyate yonihi Kamākhyā siddhir vandita iti. Ādhāraksham gudasthanam. So this Mūladhara, what we call as Mūladhara, Ādhāra. So that is, where is located? In Gudasthane. Gudasthane is Mūladhara. So that's why Mūla Ādhāraksham Gudasthanam. So takes in same way. So that means what? The Mūladhara that is located in Gudasthanam at the region of the anus. Now there is Chaturdalam Pankajam iti. So there you find a 4-petaled lotus. The Padma, the lotus, which has got 4 petals. And of course, he says, look, not only that, tanmadhye pracyate yoni. So when these 4 petals are, spread all the directions. Now in the center, tanmadhye, Kamākhyā siddhavanditaha. So the Devi named called Kamākhyā is being there and being worshipped by all siddhas. So all these siddha purusas, they do worship. That's why in also present day, many yogis, unfortunately they say tantrics, do visit Kamākhyā Devi. So Kamākhyā temple is really nice to see, okay? So I can tell you it's worth visiting, okay? So nothing wrong in it. Sometimes one should go and come back. Okay, but one point is never ever show off your ego there, okay? Be very nice, go and see and come back. That's the only condition, nothing else. However, it's very nice. Then continuing. So how does it? So this is very nice point to observe. place what we call Kamākhyā Devi resides. This Kamākhyā Devi is the main aspect of the whole Kundalini process. And how? You can see it here. Already he said in the beginning, Kama Rupam. So that is the source, storehouse, womb of all desires. So when all desires are being generated there, that means what? There are two ways of living. So that is what is being pointed very carefully. Continue reading the next verse. Yonir madhye mahalingam paschimabhimukhastitam mastake manivad bimbam yojanati sayogavite. So he says, Yaha janati, the one who knows, he is a knower of yoga, yoga vidit. It's a very nice point. What the person knows? That we arrived at yoni. So yoni, when we say, actually we would say, this mula, it comes in between Muladhara and Swadhisthana, the location. So there is one Mahalingam. So where we say very carefully, the first lotus. So he says Mahalingam Paschimabhi Mukhastitam iti. Instead of linga to be put then upwards, it is downward, ulta. So instead of going that, instead of lotus being upward, now the lotus is downward. Is it clear? The lotus that is having 4 petals supposed to be upward. So instead of being upward, it is downward. That is easiest way of understanding, or else it will be complicated. Now, when it is downward, what will happen? I told there are 2 ways of living. So once it is downward, your thinking will be down. Gross. Is it clear? If that petal is upward, your thinking will be higher. So the whole thinking process, what you call energy, that is the place. So that's why what happened, what we say technically, whenever your energy is down, whenever. So what you should do? At least, tell technically, because many of you are senior students, okay? Those who attended ETTC, starting with Nakul, he's on the top. Now Nakul will say, Swamiji, I did not complete. No, Nakul completed. Nakul completed. So, if you people don't now tell me all these things, then how can I handle it? Please, this is not serious way I am asking. You need to do some homework. So here we say very carefully, at least learn to pull your anus up. Very simple practice, okay? That's why when we do our Kapalabhati, after Kapalabhati, all the bandhas, in that Moola bandha is there or not? Without Moola bandha, can you do? So I was expecting either you say Moola bandha or pulling your anus up. So when you start pulling your anus up, there you start working that linga, that petal to turn around. And once that petal turns around, your energy changes. Is it clear? So whenever there is low energy, we do Moola bandha. And in the beginning, Moola bandha, then slowly as you grow, then focus will be on Yoni sthana. So physically you are working with Moola bandha, but mentally you are working in Yoni, turning around the Padma, the Mahalinga here. And once it is turned around, remember he says, on that Shivalinga, there is Mastake Manivat Bimbam. So on the head, there is a jewel very effulgent. So this an effulgent or jewel means there is some light, very powerful, energetic. And the one who knows this is called knower of yoga. So what I need to do? That being the source of my energy. And there we say, in technically, that this Kundalini is in dormant stage, sleeping, when it is opposite way or facing towards down. So the whole process is, whenever your energy is down, through the Moola bandha, you need to make the petal turn around. Make the lotus, instead of petal, petals is good, or else better to say lotus, that is facing towards down, let it be up. And in order to do that, that's why Satkarma, all the purification has to be done, or else it will have side effect. Neti dhauti adi, etc. to be done, to make sure that when you are turning, because each moment you have to work on, because naturally it will face towards down. So you need to work on, and once it is up and goes one layer above layer, then it becomes easier. More of it we'll see.